Just off the Pacific Ocean, another glorious day here in the Golden State. About 30 miles north of San Diego, you will find Omni La Costa Resort and Spa in Carlsbad. And for the second consecutive year, it's hosting the premier event in women's college golf. This Dick Wilson design on the North Course. It opened in 1965, was renovated before last year's championships by Gil Hanse and Jim Wagner, and it has provided a picturesque background as a national championship team going to be crowned on Wednesday, but still a lot to be determined. Before then, the semifinals on this Tuesday afternoon. Stanford and Florida State, two of the top 4 teams in the country, squaring off. All 5 matches currently tied on the golf course, shaping up to be a good one. And just getting underway in the second semifinal showdown, Oregon and Northwestern. The Ducks have played for a national championship 3 years ago at Grayhawk in Arizona before falling in that final to Stanford. Is this the year to get over the hump? And how about this youthful, exuberant group from Northwestern? They currently lead in 2 of the 5 matches. Oregon up 1 early as well. It's going to be a fun few hours here. A moment ago, this at the 8th. This is the heavyweight showdown we were looking for, Karen. Ganne against Wode. Wode's already missed the green, so an opening here for Mega.
It is. It's a tough hole location right at the very front, and she really places that in a great spot. And that was a really aggressive play, knowing that Lottie's already in trouble. And that's not the lie you want if you're trying to get it to stop quickly.
We jump ahead 1-9 and say hello to Jim.
Hello there. Kayla Williams for bogey to tie. Julia's with this group.
Paula Martin San Pedro missed about a 5-foot putt there, so Kayla feels like she stole one right there.
The match remains tied.
She sure did. And that match is tied. We've heard that there at the turn. She'll go ahead to the par 5 10th.
Really good lie here in the bunker for Ganne. She could fly this up towards the flag and spin it if she wanted to.
Yeah, the greens were rolling 12 this morning, but I would assume they're slowing down just a little bit this afternoon. I rolled a few in between. That's a pretty good shot. It's about 6 feet for par. Lottie Wode's got about 15 feet for birdie.
All right, we move to that first match at the par 5 10th. Third shot for Kayla Williams. Julia.
Great position in the fairway, 98 yards. This is a good-looking shot.
Strong player, Kayla. Just asking her how far she hits her forearm. She was using that a lot off the tee. 210 yards in the air with the forearm. That's pretty impressive.
210. Back at 8, Kelly Sue, a couple of putts to win the hole, go 2 up in the match.
That game on this afternoon.
Mirabelle Ting at 8.
Both these players have par putts. Romero has the first putt for par, 1 down. She gets down in her matches, she said, but fires back, but that was not her best effort.
Yeah, that's Kiara Romero, the standout sophomore from Oregon, in that anchor match for the Ducks against Northwestern and Deanna Lee.
Lee, now this for par. She should be able to make that one. No need me to say anything. San Pedro now.
Well, that's all she needed to do there.
Yeah, that was just probably would have given her that to go ahead and move it on. Don't let her. She could practice putt, but to go ahead and not have a putt that meant something.
Let's head over to 10. Mega Ganne, her third.
Mega had to lay up a little bit further back than normal, 130 yards in, flagging a slight little bowl. You have to dial it in, though. If you go too far to the right, it will kick towards that part of the green.
All right, takes a chance for birdie. This to win the hole. Walton missed hers.
She wasn't satisfied this morning. She won, but she wasn't happy with how she played. Like, she's like, ah.
That's what makes her so good.
Yeah.
5 wins this year.
And it's that club really that's made a big difference for her, that's transitioned her into this Annika Award winner.
To 12.
Paula Martin San Pedro, 2 up in the match. First to go with her second.
This will really test her speed control here. She's putting up and over a little knob towards a tiny little shelf tucked on the right portion of this green.
Slopes can kick it out to the right if she doesn't get it on the proper side. Oh, excellent.
Stunning.
I like
What a
that.
shot.
Stunning.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Right at it.
Drop and stop.
Oh, yes.
A little bit
Yes.
grass or
I say not much is going to slow Lottie Woad down, but
Child here at 9. This is to win the hole. She's 2 down, so she needs this for par against Yoon. Yes, nice putt. So that'll help going over to the 10th, the par 5.
To get one up in her match, putting up and over a slight ridge. Looks like it might try and straighten out at the hole after it moves right early.
oh, that looked good. And it looks like Ann Walker has now come back to join Mega.
it's intriguing, the dynamic of where the coach goes. Where is the assistant going to pop up, or vice versa? 5 matches out there. You can only be in so many places at so many times. As Ganne looking to tie the match right here.
Last time Ganne had an uphill putt that was a bit lengthy. Wasn't able to give it enough speed. Into the grain putts on this golf course are so difficult because the downhill putts are so fast. This one's just outside the left.
I'm pretty sure that Ann Walker has cloned herself, because every time I look at the screen, she's popping up somewhere.
She's quick.
Bold with that effort. Ganne still a little bit of work for her par.
Now, this may be a distance where you give it to your opponent early, not with a few holes just left to play.
It also slows things down a little bit. Like it kind of slows things down for Lottie. It gives her time to kind of ingest everything that's going on.
Exactly.
So Woad and Ganne both making pars at 14. Lottie hanging on to that 1-up lead as we send it down to Julia. Couple of backoffs there.
Yeah,
Karen.
she's milking it a little bit, but just making sure that she's going to be settled over this with the right line. Obviously, something's making her just a little bit uncomfortable with it.
Worth the wait for Mega Ganne, and the Stanford Cardinal wins at 15 and 16 for the Stanford Junior. Now 1-up, headed to 17, and a little bit closer to maybe picking up that 3rd. An all-important point for the Stanford Cardinal. They have support left, right, and center. Let's go back to 12. Deanna Lee for Northwestern, the junior, going up against Kiara Romero, the sophomore from Oregon, in that anchor match, and that putt puts Deanna Lee 2 up.
Revuelta hit a nice shot out there, about 12 feet away. Taking dead aim here, Tingus.
There you go. That's what you should do.
Yeah, that's a gettable hole location. That's very good. Hit a good drive. Made a great save back at 15. Tongan 3rd shot here. She's up in this match. 2 up. Is she going with a hybrid? Or no, that was, I was going to say, that looked like a hybrid. I've been out here too long. That was a wedge. Either way, how about that? I didn't see that coming. She had a pretty cool finish on this hole earlier today. She loves the 17th hole. So knocks it by a couple feet. Gave it a good effort. San Pedro now. Two putts wins the match.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised she's putting this one after that, but maybe just a little bit of confidence booster. Knock this one down. Birdie your last.
All right.
4. Stanford wins the match.
5 and 3.
5 and 3.
1 point on the board for Stanford. That opening match, always important. You got the point for Stanford. She played some solid golf, that's for sure. Got off to a good start in the match. Won the first 2 holes. Got it back to tie. Then made another rally. Rallied this morning in her matches. So she's been playing some solid golf.
And now you get to join your teammates, and they'll know pretty quickly by your facial expression.
Yep.
Are we one to the good or one to the other side?
Exactly.
This putt, she pretty much knows the read at this point. You keep it inside the hole with pace. The challenge with the putt is managing not the line, but the adrenaline you're feeling, the difficulty mentally to stay in the moment.
Yeah, she said to watch the pace. Also, Ganne's going to be watching this putt as well.
Well, I think she feels like she has to make it. I mean, I wouldn't want to give Megan Ganne an opportunity to stand over her putt.
To win? No,
Nope.
You got to feel like you got to make it. Then she's not going to watch. Oh, missed it high again. Man, that was a good putt. Well, she did everything but make it there.
I had that little off 3 feet. You went straight.
And I think Megan lives for these moments.
Didn't she make a putt like this in previous, on the same line as this earlier? I'm trying to remember. She made so many coming down the line, but I believe it's a similar line.
The most emotion we've seen from Ganne was on the 16th hole, that par 3 where she made birdie. This is all about controlling your adrenaline.
For birdie to win the match and get the 3rd point for Stanford to send them into the championship matchup on Wednesday. The Stanford Cardinal move 1 step closer to another national championship. But before she goes, it will be Deanna Lee first.
Very smart shot off the tee here. She didn't flirt with the front edge of this green too much. Has left herself a look here for her too. A little bit of a longer look. Electing to leave that pin in. There's a slope out there moving left to right that might pull this ball right at the very end. She's taken her time reading this putt as well. Has walked around the hole a couple times. I think she knows the significance of this moment. That bobbled a little bit early, but that's a pretty good putt there.
Yeah, doing what she needed to do, which is try and give yourself as little stress as you possibly can on the 2nd putt.
And that was on just a perfect line if it had a little bit more pace.
Uh-oh.
She peaked, Jimmy.
She sure did. Just enough. That was a nervy putt. That happens to the best of us. Doors open.
She would know that she just needs to get something to about 10 feet here. Romero has a really, really poor lie on the downslope. So this is all about discipline for Lee here. Can she get it on the green?
You make a great point. It's so important to look at where your opponent is, just to see what they have.
It's just a perfect shot, exactly what she needed to do.
That takes some guts.
Really laid that face.
She did.
Wide open.
Well, when you're nervous too, you know, because you know that her stomach's churning because everything's riding on this.
Lie has nestled down. She's on the downslope. She almost needs to bank this into the hill in front of her to get it to stop. This would be a heroic shot right here.
I think it would be great just to keep it on the green. And I think she knew how difficult it was keeping it on the green, so tried to play the really cute shot and bump it into that and land it literally on that upslope and let it hop up and over. Such a fine line.
Yeah, the window to execute that shot properly, very, very small. Now you got to regroup, try to hold it here for 4. Oh, goodness. And that's it. Deanna Lee, the junior from Northwestern who grew up 30 miles down the road in San Diego, has sent Northwestern into the finals on Wednesday.
Let's go!
Gee, what a hit.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
World beater.
To back, how would you describe the impressive performance they continue to show each and every round?
Just phenomenal, being able to turn what they did in stroke play into what they did in match play. Consistently great.